Lagos State is a place for us. Lagos State is a place for us. Lagos State is a place for us.
And in gratitude to the benevolence of the good people of the state, watch the testimonies of notable and successful personalities, especially from Igbo extraction.
Well, Lagos has been, in the classic American sense, a melting pot. As the Civil War ended, the oil economy was booming. It's the oil that transformed the ports of Lagos. All of the progress that's taking place could have gone to Port Harcourt, located inside the oil area. Lagos could probably not have emerged as it emerged if Port Harcourt had not been uncharitable to the Igbos. Even though Port Harcourt can be considered part of Igbo land, that lack of charity towards the Igbos made them turn to the one place that welcomed them wholeheartedly. And that place was Lagos. Lagos has profited from it. Which is why during the elections, when the Oba made a small joke about some people drowning in lagoon, they went on his case. I stubbornly said, you don't understand what he's saying, because nobody has been more welcoming than Lagos.
I was born in England, and by the time I was a year old, I was brought to Lagos. And I lived in Lagos till I was 6. Then the Civil War broke out, and I was taken to the east. We stayed in quite a few places before we landed in my father's town, which is Uguta. And then we stayed in the east from 1966 to 1970 and came back to Lagos 71. So the total years I've lived in Igbo land, my native land, is from 1966 to 1971 precisely. By January 1971, we were back in Lagos. So Nigeria for me really is Lagos. I thank God for the openness of some citizens of Lagos. Probably a majority of the citizens of Lagos are very welcoming of other folk and have not made them feel unwelcome. So I thank God for that.
I think one of the benefits or great things you find about Lagos is that it's been blessed with good leadership for the past, almost 20 years, or at least since the advent of democracy. Now, so the infrastructure keeps expanding, all right, to cope with the population surge that comes into Lagos. Anywhere there's a problem in Nigeria, the first place people think of going to is to come to Lagos. Whether you are Yoruba or you are Igbo or you are Hausa, it's a place that is tolerant for everybody, if you get the point I'm trying to make. It's a place where the economy is strong enough for anybody. So for you to succeed as a real businessman in the past, you had to come here. Some people would go to Kano if you were in the north, but Lagos was where you had the majority of people. So you always had an infrastructure issue. How do you cope with people surging into Lagos every day? Now, the good thing about the governance around Lagos State is that perpetually they've been expanding the infrastructure to cope, all right, with the population surge. They came up with a 25-year master plan, and in fairness, they've kept to it. New cities are being developed. Think about Lekki, even 25 years ago. Think about Eco Atlantic, which is a modern city, if you like. And of course, what that means is that it's going to take off a lot of the population pressure off Victoria Island and Ikoyi and move them there. All of these things mean that you have people who've been thinking around what does this mean on the infrastructure. Now, I know that there are big things coming up right now. Think of the roads that are being expanded. Think of what is going to happen to the public infrastructure. And I know that the government is planning to do something revolutionary as far as transportation is concerned in Lagos. My thinking is that if we continue like this, you will meet an ultra-modern city perhaps in another 15 years. The same way you look at London, look at Paris or New York, it can happen in Lagos because you have consistent leadership, foresighted leadership that is taking into consideration what is happening as far as infrastructure is concerned. But I can only pray that the Almighty will grant the current leadership of Lagos the strength and the capacity to steer the affairs of the state to much, much greater heights. The thing about success is that all it asks for is more success. The previous leaders have done well, and I think it behoves on the current one to take it here to a different level. And so we can only ask God to bless and to guide the current leadership to lead Lagos State to much better levels. I also pray that the next 15 years will lead to the creation of a state that would be at par with all major world-class cities in the world. Most Nigerians should not think of leaving this place to go anywhere else. Lagos will be able to provide for each and every one of us. Those who are entrepreneurially driven will find a home in Lagos. Those who are in the state of creating legacy projects would find a place in Lagos. And that will all be extremely proud to be from Nigeria. The reason I use Lagos State as representative of Nigeria is that anyhow you like to do it, wherever you come from in Nigeria, Lagos is truly the model state for good governance, and we pray it continues to be so.
I came to Lagos in 1990, and it was basically for education. Right? I came to Lagos because I needed to school in Lagos. Before then, Lagos has always been the place to be. All right, the place that provides the opportunity to become whoever you want to become. All right, so I intentionally came to Lagos to school and also to achieve my dream. So I see Lagos as a place that provides that platform, so people can ride on that platform to achieve whatever they want to achieve. So I came to school. I came into school in Lagos. I schooled at Yaba College of Technology, and then after Yaba College of Technology, I went to Lagos State University. All right, so I studied electrical electronics engineering and computer engineering as well. So that provided me that platform to start my own business. So the city on its own gave me the platform to school and also to express myself. Expression here means being able to express yourself in terms of what you want to become, being able to express yourself in a way of relating with people, meeting those who can actually provide opportunities for you to become who you want to become. So Lagos is a land full of opportunities, all right? And so for those who are sensitive to opportunities, I see Lagos as a place for them. So as a young man, I came into Lagos to school, and after my education, I was also lucky to serve in Lagos. I served at Guinness, at Batra and in Ikeja. And during this period, I was able to create relationships, make friends with people. My Yoruba friends were able to provide me a place to learn computer engineering. So after acquiring a degree in computer engineering, I still needed to spend another 6 months to acquire the technical know-how. So not just to become a degree, not just as a degree holder, but this time as also a sound technician. So that gave me the platform to start small as a computer engineer. So we're one of the first few engineers that started in Lagos. So we were able to train other engineers, and we were able to start from rendering services. And from there, I was able to start my own business called Slots. So it was basically from rendering service as a computer engineer to doing my own business. So my story is practically that of a young man who started as an apprentice and became an entrepreneur. First, I want the government to help some budding entrepreneurs. Some of them need some money to actually help them establish their businesses. They have smart ideas, and I'm happy that the government actually has such provision right now. It's provision for fund, try to help young people become entrepreneurs, start their own businesses. I'm very glad of that. I also want special attention to this, yes, to be paid to this market in terms of helping the young entrepreneurs establish properly. Because if you empower one entrepreneur, he's going to empower 5-6 people. We have about 700 people in our payroll. So you can imagine, we started from the scratch, just from Computer Village. I'm going to grow our business, and now we have 60 retail stores across Nigeria. So courtesy of a platform that has been provided by Lagos State. All right, it's a business environment, but it has provided us that opportunity.
People should understand that it is wrong to define Lagos as a state. Lagos is a country. Lagos is a country. And the success of Lagos as a country is the way the Yorubas welcome people who are not Yorubas and who do not come from Lagos State.
Lagos needs to continue to be a welcoming place.
Without exaggeration, the government and people of Lagos State has over the years, through their hospitality, laid a very solid foundation for the creation of a super enabling environment for the experience of peace and prosperity for all and sundry who thronged into the city of Lagos, regardless of their ethnic backgrounds and religious persuasions.
As visitors from other regions or tribes, let us be grateful to God and to our host, and most importantly, desist from any act that can tamper with the peace and process of Lagos State. Let us support political leadership of Lagos State.
Nah, man, I believe anybody can come from his village and make it big in Lagos.
Ole, come,